Hello everyone, this is Fahim bin Amin. In today's video, I'm gonna talk about some printing statement, or you can say the print statement using Java programming language. Alright, so this is the file I'm gonna use to write my Java code, main.java, and therefore the public class is main, identical as the Java file name, source file name, right? And this is my main method. And we know that the code execution process always starts from the main method. And this is a sample print statement, system.out.println hello world. What it does, it actually simply prints this string. I know that many of you might not have any decent idea about string, but don't worry, as I'm gonna cover that in another video definitely. All right, so what it actually does, it simply prints this hello world in the terminal like this. All right, now this might seem new to you, but this is actually not the raw print method. Why? Because this println method also inputs a /n. If you already know about C or C++, then you might have seen this. We used /n like this. It specifies that I want another line. You can say I want a new line after printing this. All right, this ln does this job for us, like int l does the work for us in C++ programming language. All right, let me show you something first. Let's say I'm simply copying and pasting this same print statement here, but this time I'm gonna change the second string like hello world for the second time. Now if I simply run this code, you will see that it prints hello world, then it prints hello world for the second time, but it prints it in another line. As we are not using any /n or any type of identifier to indicate that I want a new line after printing this hello world, then how come it gets that I want to print this second line in a new line? Only because that we are using println method. The println method always does that job for us. Now let me show you what if I change the println method to simply print method. Let me simply run it again. Now you see the difference, right? This is printing hello world, but this time it's not printing any new line, and therefore it's printing this hello world for the second time, line by line with this, right? As I have used println method in the second print statement, it automatically generates a new line after printing this line, but as I am not printing anything else after that, I'm not seeing any difference right now. Cool, right? So if you don't want to get a new line after any statement, you don't need to use println. All right, but if you want, you can also get the new line even though you use the simple print method like this. How come? Simply add a /n after that. It tells this that even though I'm using the print method, so what it actually does, it simply prints the entire string, but after printing this part, it's also getting that I'm calling a /n to specify that I want a new line after this. So it simply adds the new line after this, and I will get this second line in the new line. Let me simply run it again. Now you see the difference, right? So this is how it works. Now let me simply comment it out, and let's say I want to print my name in the console. So how can I do that? I can simply use a simple print method. If you are using IntelliJ IDEA or VS Code and you have installed all the necessary extensions in that, you can simply use SOUT and press the tab or enter key to generate this full method name, system.out.println. But if you don't want that, that's cool. You can simply write those manually, system.out.println. All right, now let's say I want to print my full name like this, my full name is Fahim bin Amin. So if I simply write this and run this, you see I'm getting my full name printed here. But let's say I don't want to use println, but I want to get a new line. All right, let me show you differently. I'm simply commenting out this, and let's say I'm using a normal print function, and I want to print like this, Muhammad, and then Fahim in the second print statement, being in the third print statement, and Amin in the fourth print statement. Now if I simply run this, you see that all of them is getting printed, but I'm not getting any space or new line among them because I haven't specified anything like that. If I used println, let's say I'm using println in my second print statement, then what it would do, it would simply print Muhammad, and then it would print this. As I haven't added any space before or after, I mean before Fahim or after the Muhammad, it won't print any spaces between them. But as I have used println, it gets that after printing this Fahim, I want it to print a new line, and then in that new line it would generate this bin and Amin. Let me run this again, and you'll see what I wanted to tell you, right? So let's say I'm using like this, and let's say I want to print the full name using these 4 print statement. But what I want a single space like this, but I'm gonna use this 4 print statement. Then how can I do that? I can do that in many ways. Let me show you 2 simple tricks. Let's say this is a string. I know that many of you are uh, unclear about what I mean by string, but don't worry, in other videos I'm gonna clear what is string. All right, now simply follow me in this tutorial. All right, now let's say after Muhammad I'm getting a space, so I can add a space here. So whenever the first print statement like to print this, it would print the space with it as well, because this space is now a part of this line, right? So after Muhammad I'm getting a space, and I can do the same thing for others as well. So after printing Fahim I want another space, after printing Bean I want another space, and that's it. I don't want any space after printing Amin, because that's the end of this sentence for me. Now if I simply run this, you see it looks clear, right? And let me simply copy those and comment those again, and let me show you the second tricks. So how can I do that? In this trick I don't want to use any space in the first print method. So let's say let's say I'm simply removing all the spaces, and let's say if I simply want to print this name like this, so what I can do this in the second trick, I can simply add a space before printing Fahim. In that way I don't need to print any space after printing Muhammad, right? So I can simply add a space before Amin, and what it actually does, it simply prints Muhammad. Then in the second print statement it gets I space and Fahim, so it prints that. And then in the third print statement it gets that I space and Bean, it gets that. And the same thing happens for the fourth statement as well. So if I simply run this, you see no difference, but you can understand in the second trick, or you can say the second way, how I am performing this task for you. All right, so that's it. That's how this print function works. Now let me show you something more. Let's see, I want to print something like this, Fahim, and for space then bin. So how you can do that, let me show you that right now. I'm simply gonna comment it out again. Don't worry about the codes, because I'm gonna provide the full code in the description box anyway. So let's say I'm simply using print, and I know that you can say that I can do it like this, Fahim, then 4 spaces to specify a tab, and Amin, like this. Yes, I can do it. I can definitely do it. But The professional method is not like this. Let me show you what the professional method is. Here I am keeping 4 spaces that indicates a tab, so I can use the tab character here. How? If I simply add a /t, it gets that after printing this portion, I am telling it to give 4 spaces, or the spaces uh, as the tab gives us, and then it prints Amin. Let me simply run it. You can see it right here, right? So therefore there are many tricks, there are many tricks, and you can add many kind of functionality or customization in your print method, or you can say the print statement. I'm gonna go to those step by step anyway. So this is it for today. I hope you have enjoyed it. So thank you.